morning, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm doing my old setup today because I just didn't want to set up my camera or my microphone and everything. I'm having a lot of difficulties with my setup recently. You know that thing where my live stream will freeze like twice a stream? I was like, I'm gonna fix that. So I went and I ordered like an HDMI cable and I was like running it to the thing and I plugged it in and I got it up and running. I was like, this is gonna be perfect. And then it does a thing now where it just turns off after 1 minute. So I went back to the old thing. So if I freeze during this stream, I apologize. I actually am working on it. Hello, look, is it here? Yes, it's here. Welcome to this graphic that you might be seeing for a little bit. We just announced tour dates for the US and Canada for 2025. We're very, very excited about it. So there's a lot to talk about today. I know I missed last Sunday. I missed last Sunday because I was in Washington D.C. with Ladybug. We were doing a little early Valentine's thing because it was going to be snowing and we wanted to go to D.C. to celebrate, but it was going to be snowing kind of during the week. So we're like, let's just go on Sunday, and we had a really good time. So so that's why I missed last week. Sorry about that. If you've never been to a stream before, this is one of them. My name is Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. Here's what we do on my streams. I play some music. I talk about what's going on in my world, which today is more than usual because tomorrow is a really big day for Matt and I, because we have just a lot going on in the Jam Mechanics world, in the Bug Hunter world, Nurse's Cookbook world, just announcing things and getting super excited. So what I like to do when I start is I like to play a song so that everybody knows that I am, in fact, Bug from Bug Hunter, not the merch guy. And also not the guy from most of the music videos, or really my own cartoon avatar. And until people hear me singing, they may not really know that I am me. So why don't you throw out some suggestions for a Bug Hunter song that you'd like to hear me play first? And in the meantime, I will take roll call and just see who is here, because it changes week to week. Tree is here. Terrified Tornado's here. Greg is here. Onyx is here. Super Cool Toonie. My dad is here, which means my mom is here. My grandparents are here too. That would be lovely. Julie Lorimer's here. Duck Pirate, Pocket Moose, Jay's Art Place, A Blair, Chai, Kevin Lorimer. We got Coin here. Snorby's here. David Toe is here. We got trinkets. We got trinkets all over the place. Pocket Moose, Tate, Wesley, Moderately Okay. Puck is here. Hello, Puck. All the way across the world. Gregory Spencer, and is that it? No, Jenny Mo's here. A lot of familiar names, a couple of new ones. Mackenzie Diaz hasn't been here in a year, but that's fine because you're here now. Cincinnati is here too. Been a hot minute, yeah. I expect that kind of when we make big announcements like, hey, we're going on tour, hey, we got a new season of Jam Mechanics, some people who maybe have forgotten about us for a little bit might be like, hey, yeah, I remember Bug Hunter. Pretty cool band. All right, so I see Duck Pirate, first stream. It's gonna be fun. Moderately Okay. Haven't been here in a few months. You know, honestly, I don't stream very often, so you could have only missed like 3 and still said I haven't been here in a few months. So I used to do every Sunday, every Wednesday. Now it's most Sundays, I'd say. But it's just because I'm busy. So my dad wants me to play a bummer to start the stream. I'm not going to play Deserve Me first, and here's why. Deserve Me is actually one of the most difficult songs for me to sing, and it is noon. I haven't sang anything today at all, and I will probably beef it pretty bad. So I'm not going to start there just because I got to warm up for it. Sammy? So here's the thing about that. I've been playing that for a very long time, and now people notice it because I put it in a Jam Mechanics song called Sammy. But it's a little riff that I've had since like Torn Between a Couple, and I've probably played it on stream like 24 times, just kind of noodling, and no one's ever said anything. But now when I do it as kind of a nervous tick, people are like, oh, are you playing Sammy? I'm like, no, I'm just playing this little riff that I put into a song that now you know, which is silly. So Not Like That. That's a good one. 30 Plan. That's a good one. Plot Twist is Fun. That's a good one. I see 2 30 plans. If I get one more 30 plan, I'll do it. But I am seeing Boogie Pete. We got another Not Like That. Who's gonna win? Okay, someone said 30 Plab, but that doesn't count. So now it's 30 Plan or Not Like That. Okay, that one's super cool too. And you did it. That's a close one. Cool. I haven't played any of my songs in a little bit. Been doing a lot of jam mechanics, a little bit of writing. So let's see what I can remember here. And it starts tonight because tonight's the night, but not just any night. It is movie night. I would have made you dinner, but my toaster broke. So you put on a little sci-fi film about the dangers of blah, 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 whatever. I am barely watching, time is standing still. I'm about to change my life forever. I ask you if we can chat a minute, and you say sure when the movie's finished. So I fast forward to the end and say I think we should be more than friends. And you say, look, you're great. Uh-oh, that's not a good start. You say you're not ready for that and don't want to mess up what we have. But I have an idea, you say. And you reach into your bag of things that 20-year-olds think are good ideas. And you pull out this massive classic gem. If we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a pinky promise with the one to the right. It's too soon for I do's. Will you take it? I might. If we're both still single at 30, but I am not your first choice, but I'm a solid 30 plan. Hot damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. So we cut to the scene where I build a machine, but not just any machine, it is a time machine. I made it from my toaster, like that movie, Hot Toast Time Machine. I load a bagel in the future slot, set to 10 and smack down on the lever. A decade passes in a single thought. I'm about to change my life forever. I find you and you're still single. I am obviously single. It's like a tale from a storybook until you say, how does 40 look? But wait, I'm pretty sure you said, and I quote, if we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a time capsule, no, it's a proposal. A little bit of neither and a little bit of both. So now we're both still single at 30, but apparently what you really meant to say was, oh, come on, let's pick an arbitrary number, kick the can down the road before we tie it to the bumper. You never thought we'd be single at 30, but I am still not your first choice, but I'm a solid 40 plan. Hot damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. Yeah, I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. There are no bagels in the future. I have got one left, but 2 slots on my toaster. One'll take me forward, one'll take me back. One's another chance and one is closure. I load my bagel, I made up my mind. Set to 10 and smack down on the lever. A decade passes in a single... Nope, that's not. A decade passes as I go through time. I'm about to change my life forever. Yeah, almost 100% of that song. That's pretty good. That's not bad. You know, a 98% still an A. So that's what I always say. I was just laughing at how contrived I had to make the end of that song in order to have an ambiguous ending. And that just makes me, hey, Adef, that's really, really kind of you. Thank you so much for doing that. That's more than you needed to do. But I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, cool. Hey, so here's what we do at these streams. I talk for a little bit. If anyone just wants to hang out, we can just chit chat. I have a lot to talk about. I'm happy to answer questions. We have so many things going on this week. I'm really, really excited. We have obviously the tour dates got announced on Friday. Here they are over here. The cryptid artwork done by Deep Blue Ink. And if you can't read, I'll just very quickly. We got 4 distinct legs. We're basically flying Matt over 4 different times to kind of keep the work-life balance kind of in check. We used to do 2 chunks, now we're doing 4, and that's just so that we don't have to be gone from home for as long as we were in the previous 2 years. It's because Papa Bug comes on the road with us. I go on the road. It's just a lot to be gone for a long time. So we did 4 different week-long stints. First one is going to be at the end of April, and so we're going to Seattle twice. We had an option to play the same venue as last year, or the last 2 years, but we were like, you know what, 3 years in a row at the same venue, people might just feel like, hey, I've seen this before, so we decided to break it up. What we wanted to do was we couldn't find a venue that was big enough for everybody who wants to come to the show historically. So the first night we're going to play it at a small kind of rock club called the High Dive. It is where I used to play like my small shows when I was living in Seattle doing open mics. It's where we had the Rough Draft release party. So that when the Rough Draft came out, I threw like the release show for the Rough Draft there. And it's going to be small. It's going to be fun. It's going to be 21 plus. And so because it's going to be 21 plus, we have a show the next day at the Ballard Homestead that will be all ages. And what we're going to try and do is also like make that a little more sensory friendly, kind of like a seated show, no flashing lights, kind of keep the volume a little bit lower than maybe normal on a show, just so that people who might appreciate a more sensory friendly experience from one of our concerts and not like a packed in like rock show will have that option. We're going to kind of trial that out in Seattle and see how that goes. And we're going to go to Portland, we're going to go to San Francisco, we're going to go to Reno for the first time. I used to live in Reno when I was a baby, and so it'll be my first time back in a long time, and playing a show there will be fun. Going to go to Sacramento, and then we're going to go to Vancouver in Canada. If y'all will have us, I would understand if I'm gonna be like, hey, Matt's coming from Scotland, and I'm with him. Is it cool if I come to your country as a guest of someone you might not have any issue with? So that'll be fun. The next leg will be starting in Richmond, where I live now, so I'm excited for that. Little start the tour with a little hometown show. We're gonna do Philadelphia, which we skipped last year, so I'm excited about that. We're gonna do Brooklyn, we're gonna do Boston, we're gonna do Rochester, New York, which is a new one. We did Buffalo last year, so we're shifting a little to the right. We're going to do Pittsburgh, another oversight from last year. We're going to Columbus. We're going to Detroit. And then we're going to go to Toronto, another Canadian city. I had somebody get a little flippant with me on Instagram when we announced these tour dates. And they were like, Canada isn't just Vancouver and Toronto. And I understand. I know that. But here's the problem. We're just little guys, and we have to go where the most people are. If we could go to a bunch of small cities in Canada, we would. But not enough of you will come to the show if we go anywhere else. So for now, Vancouver and Toronto, that's where we know that we can go and not lose money on the show. So we're going to go to DC. We're going to go to Raleigh. We're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to go to Franklin, Tennessee, which is basically Nashville. But it's just far enough outside of Nashville that we just decided to call it Franklin. St. Louis, Minneapolis, Milwaukee. We're going to Chicago to end the third leg. And the last leg, we're just kind of sweeping up the 4 cities in the middle that we can put on big shows at. Fort Worth, so that's our Texas show. We're going to go to Phoenix. We're going to go to Salt Lake City. We're going to go to Denver. So we're just going to do a big square around the middle of the country because those are all the 4 hardest cities to like loop into another tour because they're kind of far from everything. Devin asked, are you going anywhere in Upper Michigan? These are all the dates. That's everything we got. So yeah, we've looked into, we actually were trying to do Ann Arbor this year, but the venue that kind of like reached out and said, yeah, like let's do this. They ghosted us for 3 weeks. And so we just had to move the show to Detroit. So We try to mix things up as much as we can, because we know that some people just like can't make it to certain cities, and so we try to just gently shift things around in a way that makes sense. And this year that wasn't possible. I know Ann Arbor's pretty close to Detroit anyway, but we also tried to do Grand Rapids and didn't get a response there. So. Yeah. Tree says Montreal has lots of people and is big. Yes, Montreal is the third city that we could potentially do in Canada. The problem with Montreal is that when you cross the border into Canada, you have to pay taxes on all the stuff that you have. You have to like pay like a tariff, I don't know, whatever it is at the border. They're like, hey, whatever you have in here, you have to give us 5% of its value. And Montreal would have been in the middle of our loop, meaning that all of the merch that we had for Pittsburgh, Columbus, Detroit, Rochester would have had a big tax. Like the Canadian government would have just taken like 5% of all that merch when we had no intention to like sell it. And so because we can end the tours in Vancouver and Toronto, that is like only the stuff that we're bringing in for that show needs to be taxed. So that's why we didn't go to Montreal, is because it would have been a kind of a huge burden to like get up there and go through. Plus we also need to leave days on either side of crossing a border, because we don't want to do it that morning in case they pull us aside and have questions and call people. And, we don't want to risk, if we're driving from Seattle to Portland, we can make that drive in the morning. It's not a big deal, but we wouldn't do the same Seattle to Vancouver. We give ourselves an extra day. And so, one show in Canada can take the place of 3 shows in the US. So that makes it a little more difficult. Julie says, so maybe merch in Vancouver. Probably not also. Just because there's a multitude of reasons. It's difficult. But we're still going to come play, and that'll be good. So. Nick E sounds like you saw us in Toronto maybe, was it 2 years ago? That was really fun when I came and did a solo show there. That was a blast. We're really excited to come back. And at the time, that was the biggest show that I had ever played. It was like 94 people, and 2 years ago in Toronto. And that was a blast, so fun. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And since then, a 94-person show would be on like a much smaller side for one of our shows. So I'm excited to come back and see if it's grown at all in that time. Yeah, and I played Not Like That for the first time in Toronto. I made a game time decision like at the show. I was like, all right, you know what? I got Happiness coming out in like 8 months, and I really should start trying these songs. So I played Not Like That, and it was really, really fun. So. Time wants to know, who thought of the idea for the cryptid poster? Did you pick what cryptids you wanted to be? We were brainstorming a lot of different ideas. I think it was my idea, but if I took credit from that, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure that I suggested Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, and then yeah, we sent that idea over to Deep Blue Ink, and yeah. So Deep Blue Ink did the Polaroids, and then I did the rest of the poster. I was really proud of this one. That's normally how we do it. I think every poster that we've done, Deep Blue Ink does the character artwork, and then I throw the actual arrangement and the dates and the formatting on there. So it's really fun to put it out there and see how excited everybody is about it. I really like the detail of putting a scrap piece of paper from last year's tour as one of the date scraps, especially because it also has a little picture of my dad on it too. So that was fun. Yeah. So yeah, as far as did you pick what cryptids you wanted to be, I think it was always like, we didn't think, oh, let's do a cryptid one. We just thought, let's do a Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster one. So I think at one point we were thinking of George Washington and Queen Elizabeth, but we didn't want to do that. Jenny Mo wants to know if I've watched Deep Space Discounts yet, and absolutely, I watched every single one. I saw the storyboard videos before they were ever voiced by the professional voice actors or like fully animated. Like Deep Blue Ink sent those to me and Kyle and Matt just ahead of time, just to kind of get feedback and stuff. And that's when we were asked to do the voices for the angry mob in the first episode. So got my first voice act credit. Super excited about that. So, yes, I've seen them all, and you should all go watch Deep Space Discounts. That's a little animated series from Deep Blue Inc., who does our tour art. He does the Bug Hunter music videos, does the Jam Mechanics artwork, which, if you haven't seen it yet, we've released the season 3 artwork for Jam Mechanics, and I'm super excited about it. And yeah, Julie points out that there's a little postcard on the poster that does say featuring songs from Jam Mechanics. We wanted to kind of give Jam Mechanics a little bit more of a spotlight on the poster to make sure that people knew what it, like, maybe have a better chance of knowing what it is before they come to the show, so that when we get to the point where we're like, you know, Matt's playing Get Deep Fried or we're playing Artists for Amateurs, people aren't like, I thought I knew every Bug Hunter song and every Narcissus Cookbook song, and all of a sudden everybody's singing this song that I don't know what's going on. So let's see. Julie says, who designed the Jam Mechanics JM Music Note logo? That was Deep Blue Inc. Yeah, so we've had a version of the Music Note logo in all 3 of them. It was the fire in the caveman one. It was the kind of marble statue on the ancient Rome one, and it is an axe on the Viking one. That was my idea. So I was kind of brainstorming how we could incorporate the Music Note onto a Viking themed one, and we basically every time we're like, they're all based around kind of big inventions throughout time. So fire. We were gonna do a sundial, I think, for the Roman one, but ended up not really being able to pull off like the perspective of like a Music Note shadow off of a sundial. So we ended up just going with kind of more of an art theme with the marble carving, and then the axe. Apparently, Vikings invented axes. I googled it, and the AI summary told me that was true. So. Ame Aru says, yeah, the sleep work. Yeah, so there was a moment where Deep Blue Inc. was like saying, hey, I'm gonna make this like little animated series, and you know, yada yada. And I was like, oh, I was just internally thinking like, oh, this might need some like theme music for that or something. He's like, you know, he's coming to me and Matt like, oh, maybe Deep Blue Inc. is just like, you know, kind of gonna ask us to do like the theme music for it. And damn if Deep Blue Inc. didn't just bust out his own like perfect theme song for his own animated series that he also wrote and animated like by himself. So yeah, guy doesn't need any help. He's just a one-man power horse. I was very, very, very impressed, because I wouldn't have come up with anything as good as what Deep Blue Inc. did. UBM wants to know, what city are you most excited for in the North America tour? We generally, let's see, we put Chicago last on the 3rd leg because Chicago is always a great show. No, I meant Power Horse time. There's a lot of horse imagery in my music. Denver we put last on the 4th leg because that's always a great time. I think we had intended to put Seattle last on the first one, but the timing didn't work out, so it ended up being first. Yeah, there was a time, I think, where we were doing Columbus last on the 2nd leg because Columbus normally shows up pretty big and brings big Midwest energy. So yeah, Chicago, Denver, Seattle. I mean, all the shows are gonna be good, but sometimes they're just like really large. Boston would always be a great place to end a tour if it wasn't so in the middle of everything. So yeah, no, I'm really excited. Boston should be great. We're doing a couple repeat venues. So last year there's about 7 or 8 venues that were doing the same as last year: Denver, Boston, St. Louis, Sacramento, any others? Philadelphia, we've played that one before. DC, we're playing at a venue right next door to the one we played last year. Minneapolis, we're repeating that one again. And Portland, we're playing the same venue again. Everything else will be new venues. I think we've done a pretty good job of making sure that like everybody who wants to go will be able to go. I'd still recommend getting tickets early, because the VIP tickets sell out really quickly. So if that's something of interest to you, I would do that sooner rather than later. I know Minneapolis sold out the VIP like the first day or second day last year, which is crazy. So. Yeah, so the ticket pricing for all our shows are $30 for GA, $65 for VIP, and then we're selling tickets at like 8 of the shows, and the rest will be sold by the venues, which they throw on the small ticket fees. I don't think we're doing any Live Nation stuff this year, which is great. We did one last year, and the ticket was like $30, and the fee was like $13.50. It was just something ridiculous. It's something that like we lowered the price just to like offset because it was just so egregious. So we just took a smaller cut of the tickets because we're like, you guys are being stupid. So I think we've avoided all Live Nation venues this year, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, I said L Club used Dice, which had horrid fees. Yeah, I haven't seen Dice come up in any of the ticket links that anyone has sent me this year. I think I've seen a lot of Ticket Web, a couple of e-tickets, but you never know. I can always be surprised. Jay's Art Place, are they all on your website? All of the links will be on my website tomorrow at noon. So the ones we sell, we'll sell there, and if we don't sell it, we'll have the page set up to link to the official spot where you buy tickets. So. Thigh Cabbage Folk is going to the Minneapolis venue this year. It's the last thing they do, which I'm very excited about. And hopefully it's not the last thing you do. Hopefully that day it's just the next thing you do. Why don't I play a song? And let's see. Is this in tune enough? That's enough. This is a cute little song that I wrote for my wife, which, speaking of, y'all don't know what I've sacrificed in order to be here today. I went downstairs right before my stream started to get some water, and my wife was pulling fresh baked cookies out of the oven basically at that moment, and so I am missing having fresh baked cookies I'm gonna have hour long old cookies when this is done. So I hope y'all know what I've sacrificed for y'all. The song's called Be Glad I Love You. Well, I have a theory, dear, so let me put it fast. I have to check it's valid, though I know you didn't ask. You don't like to kiss me, no, you don't like to kiss, 'cause my beard is way too itchy and it scratches up your lips. But I can't shave it off, I'm too self-conscious of the fact I have a scar above my lip that my beard and mustache mask. And I have a scar above my lip 'cause I once smashed up on a curb, flew over both my handlebars and straight into the dirt. And I didn't have a helmet on 'cause that was way back when I was too damn cool for safety rules or simple common sense. So if I now remember right by the transitive rule, darling, you don't like to kiss me 'cause I'm too damn cool. With tired eyes she stared at me, it's 3 a.m. she said, Bug, be glad I love you, you're a goober, go to bed. You love my quirks, the dopey way I flirt. You're even kind and warm when I am getting on your nerves. You love my quirks, I'm certain you deserve a handsome hunk, but now you're stuck with this annoying nerd. And you put up with more than most with mine. The time it takes to rise and shine, I'm hitting snooze at 6:05, 6:15, and 6 more times. You don't mind the way I weigh my food, my morning routine, which includes scrambling to find my keys 'cause I can't leave them out in view. Even though you bought that bowl, put it right beside the door, and all I have to do is set them there as soon as I get home. Instead I'm flipping up the couch and, oh, there they are, I found them. Have a great day, and oh, have you seen my wallet? crazy thoughts inside my head. Bug, be glad I love you. You're a goober. Go to bed. And she to my t-shirt when I take off my sweatshirt to make sure it stays down. Now that's what I call teamwork. I keep us on time. She makes all our friends and makes sure that my fly is zipped up on my pants. If Snapchat is to flirt and Tinder to find love, we're back here snapping Polaroids just to shake things up. You love my quirks, the dopey way I flirt. You're even kind and warm when I am getting on your nerves. You love my quirks, I'm certain you deserve a sexy stud instead of what you've chosen. Cause I'm sure that all the girls who hear this song and smirk and feel pity cause I sound like I'm more trouble than I'm worth are probably right. Thank you, everybody. That song's called Be Glad I Love You. It's off an album called The Rough Draft, which was pretty well received, I'd say, overall. Let me grab my guitar again. I'm just checking on my Imgur post. I made an Imgur post today. I'm going to see if it makes the front page. Ooh, I was awarded the entertaining accolade, and somebody commented on it. Ooh, I got 32 points. It's pretty good. Back in the day, Imgur was the way that I got my start. The only reason y'all know about me is because of Imgur. And I was like, I'm going to make an Imgur post today because Sunday is my lucky day and Success Kid is my lucky meme. So, Trinkets wants to know if my uke is a tenor uke. It is a baritone ukulele. I really like it a lot because it is tuned just like a guitar. It's how I learned how to play an instrument. I got that for my 21st birthday, and I played it for about a year. And then when I got a guitar off of Craigslist around like right before I turned 22, I was like, okay, cool. All these chords are basically the same. I just gotta add 2 more strings. Easy. So I couldn't recommend getting a baritone ukulele. Like I would never, if I had a kid and was like, I'm gonna have them pick up an instrument, I would never get them a guitar as their first instrument because it's big and it's frustrating. So I would get a baritone ukulele and be like, if you like that, because you can do everything that you want to do on a baritone ukulele. You can like write songs, like you can play Taylor Swift covers for drunk people in a college town, like you want all your kids to do. So that's why I would recommend baritone ukulele. Will you guys be making a stop in Gary, Indiana this year? I don't think we're going that way. I think because we're coming up through St. Louis, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago, and then we're driving back down to Nashville. And then the other way, we're going up to Detroit and Toronto and coming back down. So I don't think there's any reason for us to go to Gary this year unless we go through there back to Richmond after the last show. So. Cool. Let's do a little bit more cozy Q&A, and then I'll play one more song, as I tend to do. Let's see. So I've talked a lot about the tour. I talked a ton about the tour. All those tickets are going on sale tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. We will continue to tour annually as long as there is support for it. If people come, we'll come back every year. If the numbers start to wane, we could cut it down to just the big cities, or maybe wait a year. But in the meantime. So if you don't know what Jam Mechanics is, it's a podcast that I do with Matt from the Narcissist Cookbook, where we get a challenge and then we go away for 3 hours, come back, and we show off the songs that we wrote in 3 hours. And so we've done 2 seasons of it, which means there's 20 episodes out there, 20 new Bug Hunter demos if you've never heard them. One sounds like that. One sounds like this. That one's really good. That's from season 1, episode 1. There's one that goes like, that one's really good too. So yeah, it's just what a great show. So season 3 starts tomorrow. There's going to be, Sapur2 is in here giving me the same energy as the Instagram comment. Yep. That's all we can do. Yep. There's a reason that Vancouver and Toronto are the Canada stops. That's where the most people are. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a population density. Gary Bear wants to know if we're ever planning on touring in Europe. We have come to Europe the last 2 years. We went to Berlin, we went to Amsterdam, we went to Berlin again, we went to Frankfurt. The Europe tours aren't profitable. We basically just get kind of like a break even or lose a little bit of money trip to Europe, and so that's why we haven't done an extensive one. But we try and do a little bit of Europe. The UK ones are fine. London, Manchester, Edinburgh, those all subsidize mainland Europe, but we're trying, like you can't say we don't put effort into it. So we normally do those in October. So so Jam Mechanics starts tomorrow, which means there's new artwork, there's a new theme song, which I'm excited about. We got a new format for the challenges, which all just very small adjustments. I don't think anybody's gonna be like, whoa, you guys took something I loved and made it real different. I think everyone will be cool with what we've decided to go with for season 3. We talked about it a lot on tour in Europe. We had a lot of conversations about okay, what do we do? Like, how do we change it up? Could we do this? Could we do that? And where we landed, I think, is the best of a lot of worlds. So spoil the theme song. I'm not gonna spoil the theme song. I will say that the theme song for season 3 was a Happiness Without a Catch bonus track reject. It was something that I wrote for Happiness Without a Catch before the album theme kind of took shape. Or I guess I didn't write for Happiness Without a Catch. I wrote it kind of in that same stretch of time I was writing those songs. And then when the plot of Happiness Without a Catch and the idea for it kind of gelled together, this song got cut really quickly. But I always loved it. So, yeah. And it's really good. So... Amayaru wants to know, when will Friend of My 30s be released? I put the demo version of it at the end of the retrospective if you wanted to hear the full version of that song. I think it got received about as well as I thought it would have, because I was like, even at the time, I was like, this doesn't feel like done yet. Dun. And so I just put it on the podcast, and we didn't put it on Spotify because I was like, I would love to let this cook for a little bit. I don't want to make a mistake and be like, I'm just going to release it because it's the end of the season. I don't know. I wanted a little something more from it. And so I think maybe what we'll do is maybe I'll play it live or something and see how it feels and get a feel for it, and see if any ideas come up, or maybe, when I see Matt, we can go over some of the sections or parts of it. Matt wasn't able to do much with that demo version because Matt was finishing Myth at the exact same time that I was working on it, and so just didn't have any bandwidth to collaborate on it. And so I figured there's no reason to rush out a song that I wasn't save for the Jam Mechanics season 2 retrospective coming out. I wasn't in a part where I was like, I want to put the song out. And if that was the only reason I was putting it out, I felt like, I'll put the demo in the show, but hold on to it for later. So Time wants to know if we actually read all the feedback that was put on the season 2 recap. Yeah, absolutely. I read through everything. And identified all the things that people liked about the season, and some of the fair criticisms, some of the criticisms that were like, what do you want? If anybody hasn't finished season 2 of Jam Mechanics, I guess technically you don't have to catch up in order to hang out with us tomorrow for the premiere, but we will be doing a live premiere of episode 1. I think we're gonna try and do it at 11:30 Eastern time, so that when the episode ends, tickets should be on sale for the tour everywhere, so that there's not like an awkward like gap between the show coming out and being like, hey, we're going on tour, buy our tickets, and then you not being able to do so. So I think that's our plan at the moment, because we're doing a noon Eastern ticket release, and so we'll try to do 11:30. It's a 35-minute episode, so it's close enough. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited for y'all to hear the theme song. I'm excited for y'all to hear Matt's song tomorrow. Is a favorite. I like my song too. I like my song, but I like Matt's song better. So. So that's all the big stuff going on with me. I've been writing, I've been tour planning, I've been doing jam mechanics. We've got a couple of episodes in the bank, so we don't like to launch until we have a few. So I already know a lot of season 3 spoilers. My parents know all the season 3 spoilers because they are our only test audience. If you wanted to know, the only people that get to listen to the episodes before we release them are my parents. So. And I guess, well, this season there's one more person that listens to them ahead of time, but I can't tell you who that is. Cool. I think it's a good time to play one more song and then go get my cookies, if everyone's cool with that. So what do y'all want to hear as the last song? I'm happy to play most things. I'm a little out of practice on Bug Hunter stuff, but at least released Bug Hunter stuff. A couple Robin of Banks. I haven't played that in a long time. I don't even know if I know how to play it. Why does everybody want to deserve me so much? I'm not gonna sing it well. A song from Myth. I was gonna do a cover of Piano Beacher for the release day and just like put it just like in the Discord, just be like, hey, cool. And then I learned very quickly that why Matt has some strengths that I do not have. I was like, nope, this doesn't contribute anything. So I did learn how to play it though. I've forgotten since, but. A new Making Up Words contingent has appeared in the chat. I haven't played that in a long time. Common sense. This is a song. It was the first song on the first album. Slow down, we can talk it out. We'll backtrack, relax, and we'll track it down. How I carve out a space for this to hold a job and have a hobby as expensive as it is. My neighbors all complain about the noise I make. I pipe down and I haven't made a beat though, but I found my voice in this random noise. Sit back now and welcome to the Peep Show. I've been making up words at the top of my lungs, at the tip of my tongue. Ease up and leave me some. Yeah, I've been making up words 'cause there aren't any. One twist from the sounds of it, I've missed half the point, but I got the gist. Now I know what my next step is. Find the perfect words if they exist. Is it words for love? Is it words for pain? Do I stop when they sound the same? Is it better that I pander to the people who will listen? Do I pivot, go 180 just to prove I can be different? No, I've been making up words at the top of my lungs, at the tip of my tongue. Ease up and leave me some. Yeah, I've been making up words 'cause there aren't any. Refresh, give me time to rest, to recharge my search for a sound that's fresh. I don't mean to be so down or pessimistic, like an ivy on my skin. I can't resist the urge to itch it with a simple little hobby. All I do is stitch together clever words and sounds, record them, design and finally pitch it, and I'm likely share. Like and subscribe, but all I want to do is leave this unrelated stuff behind. But at the same time, I want to reach 1 million people. I'm feeling like 1,000's out of reach if I don't keep up with the trending times. A brand new state, a new bandwagon with some new pain. here's my new way. Maybe I'm not trending up on Twitter, and the only ones I'll reach will be my mom and baby sister. Maybe I'm not bound for money or fame, but my music wouldn't fit inside a stats or a hashtag. I've been making up words at the top of my lungs, at the tip of my tongue. Ease up and leave me some. Yeah, I've been making up words, cause there aren't any more. The chorus and the beating in my chest. I'll take my inspiration from the gains of my breath. I'm searching for a rhythm and the cracking on my knuckles. They asked me for a title, said I'm torn between a couple. I'm taking aim and aiming up, it's second nature. Off the cuff and big the masquerade, man. I'm faking that I'm raving. I'm shaking up the achy stuff and waking all the neighbors up. There ain't enough to waste it, so I'm saving up and making up words. Yeah. Speaking of waking all the neighbors up, we got some new neighbors this week, and me and my wife were like, we live in a community that's got quite a few older people, a lot of divorced dads for some reason. It's like a lot of divorced dads, and so this couple like our age moved in right next door, and we were like so giddy. I was like looking out the windows, and I was like, Ladybug, they're friend shaped, and I was really excited. And we met them the other night, and they're so nice. So hopefully they don't mind living next to a musician. We'll see. We've had good luck so far. So, anyways, yeah, we got new neighbors because the old man that lived next door, he said his house was haunted. Long story short, house went up for sale. We got new neighbors. Anyways, I think that's it. Let me get the Discord link for everybody because I don't think we have our normal mods in the chat today. So I'm just gonna grab that F in the chat for everybody, whatever that means. And you can join our Discord where we talk about things like the tour happening, Jam Mechanics. If through that link you can find the Jam Mechanics room, which links to the Jam Mechanics Discord, and you can be a part of that. Somehow we're like over 1,000 people in that Discord already, which is crazy because I didn't think there was that many people in it. Yeah. So if you want to hang out tomorrow, me and Matt will be online doing the live premiere of the Season 3, Episode 1, Jam Mechanics, which will be a kind of a live premiere on YouTube. So we'll all be in the chat, just there to chit-chat about it and get excited. As soon as that's done, tickets for all of these dates will be up. There's a few venues that haven't responded back and said that, yeah, we're cool for noon on Monday. Probably shouldn't have done it on a federal holiday / federal protest day, but it was... I work by myself and I don't keep track of holidays very well. So I'm doing my best. So a couple of the links may not be active tomorrow at noon, but most of them will be. And if they aren't active, they will be soon. Everything is lined up, so should be good. Other than that, I'm going to go get some cookies from downstairs. So if you are a goober, you should go to bed.